The Joker's here, and he's glad he is. Hello everyone, and welcome to my review of the newest Joker movie. And I saw it last night. Later on today, I'll give you my review for Ad Astra, which I got to see last weekend. And of course, that's done. Anyway, that'll be my review that'll be up later today. But for now, I'm reviewing the highly anticipated The Joker. And I definitely want to say that, well, does it live up to the hype? Does it deserve all this criticism and everything like that? Absolutely. In this film of The Joker, directed by Todd Phillips, stars Joaquin Phoenix as Arthur Fleck, aka also known as the Joker. In this film, is chosen as this lowbrow man in this downhearted and destroyed type of area of Gotham City, which is essentially New York, to be fair, which is essentially just New York. And how it shows his psychological tormented mind and his trauma and all this kind of unrevolves everything. It shows the progressive, natural, authentic causes, but what causes him to become ultimately, which forms him to become the Joker, and how he becomes one of cinema's most well-known and authentically insane, sociopathic Joker that we all know and love. But this is different. It takes various other angles of other material, such as the Killing Joke and also with Martin Scorsese being the great influence and productive influencer for this film, taken heavily from Mean Streets and Taxi Driver, which I'm going to shock the world by saying I haven't seen either of those two films. And actually I have, but it's been a while since I've seen them. Again, you can kind of see the influence on those films inside of this film, but every film is always going to be influenced by what other. But, so it gives that kind of Travis Bickle story aspect of Travis Bickle, like Robert De Niro from Taxi Driver, but also with this production angle of the host with Robert De Niro as him, as it did in Mean Streets. And it plays so authentically, naturally, and very believably of how Arthur in this film feels like his mind is deteriorating, and how the world keeps taking a massive dump on him, and how it just shows and builds, and how it just fumes into something greater. Something so great and so profoundly out there that no one seems to grasp, because he's gone too far. And when you see that natural progression, when you see all of this built up, you feel like the progression and the performance and the commitment 100% by his physique and the mind and the performance and the laugh just gives so much to him physically exteriorating and giving away for everything and how this kind of goes. And it's so believable. Joaquin Phoenix is indisputably one of the best actors in a long time. Like, granted, he's had a very unfortunately troubled past, but seeing him kind of rise up from this, like a literal metaphorical type of Phoenix with his own right, that's born from the ashes, he's definitely risen with so many great movies and performances, from Gladiator to Walk the Line and all these other great films. And one of my favorite films from last year, You'll Never Really Hear, how you can see him this psychologically trying himself out. I said in my review of that film last year, and I'm like, this is his audition role for the Joker. And it really is. You see him slowly deteriorating away. This is, in fact, his best performance. He's so damn engrossing and harsh and unyielding and uncomprehended in this film, and his physique made me and all four of my friends cringe. It was just so gross to see him physically deteriorating away in the film. As a superhero or a comic book film, is not willing to shy away from his grander, grosser stuff. Like my shirt. and how you get to see him. Like, this is not a feel-good film. And if you go away from this film being like, I wanted to feel better in a mood, that's not the point of this film. What the fuck do you think you're getting with a Joker movie? A deeply moving... This isn't a moving film. This film is going to shock you to your core of how messed up, deluded, and insane the Joker is. And really how far his savagery and sociopathic mind is willing to just push. Don't go further. And how he's willing to bend everything in the way. Where it's not truly like a psychopath, like how cunning he is, but he certainly is a product of his environment with already a fragile mind and a troubled past, and how this builds. Because the performance, not only from him, is so authentic, but from everyone. From the I forgot who played his mother, but she's really good in this movie. The kid who plays Thomas Wayne in this, the kid who plays Bruce Wayne in this movie is also really good. Fun little fact: that little kid is actually the younger version of Joaquin Phoenix's character, and You Were Never Really Here. So that's a little fun little bit of trivia for you guys. But also, I forgot the actor's name who played Thomas Wayne, but he's great. They used him sparingly, as I thought, a little too sparingly, but they ultimately come back to thinking that, yeah, he actually did play him pretty well. He played him with just enough measured moments within the film for him to make a good impact. And also, Robert De Niro and Zazie Beetz were just used greatly. I actually really liked his relationship with Zazie Beetz, and how when you first see it, you're like, okay, good for him. He's found someone who he likes, like a crush, a love interest. But how you kind of see is like, oh, wait a minute, is she self-aggrandizing him? How she doesn't know how far he's already gone to such an extent? I'm sorry if I keep dazing off. But how you kind of put ourselves in her shoes, like how, like we're seeing this performance. We're seeing this character very much like he would himself. This outsider perspective, and how dark, and how isolated, and how fearful he's gone, and how you can. Again, the film doesn't want to say. It doesn't want to make us be with him or anything like that, but it understands the trauma. Like, the film does not want to be like, and this is why you should be rooting for the Joker. No, it's not. It's showing why the Joker is this way and how he got there. And how we can come to our conclusion if he was, and while he's clearly not in the right for, honestly, killing people, because that's not a huge spoiler, but how he kind of just pushes himself so far, and how much he's going to break, and does such insanely vile shit. In my view, really does paint a grander picture of how far gone he is, and yet how victim of the environment he is, and how troubled everything was, how the environment itself is sick and it's deteriorating, and how you can see these performances and characters drawing lines from another, and how they're all tied within these certain narrative aspects, and it's so well done. And I understand why some people may say, this isn't for everyone. As I saw this with a bunch of my own friends, and there's 5 of us in total, and out of the 5 of us, me and someone else loved it. One of us was like, okay, alright, fine, and 2 of my friends distinctively did not like it. And I like that, at least from my perspective, because it shows how have that contrarian opinion. Like, hey, this film isn't for everyone, and I understand why. It is so dark, it is so off-putting, and it is so fierce that it may not always play for everyone's rewatchability aspect for this film. And I do think the film, while indistinguishably isn't for everyone, I do think this movie's a little, it's not wrong, but there's a little drawn-out moments at times, but every scene complemented itself. It felt necessary, and it felt like it was airtight within its own pacing. So I get why it's not for everyone, and at times it does feel a little long, but when I do think about every aspect of this film, it just works perfectly. For me, this is like the exact opposite contrast of Rambo Last Blood and this film. It's like the more I think about Rambo Last Blood, the more I don't like it. The more I think about this film, I'm like, everything just kind of falls into place like a big puzzle. And it all comes together within its own, like, ending. And how the last 30 minutes are just nothing short of comic book mastery. And granted, it's a very mature film. It's not violent, it's not too gore or anything, it feels so calculated. Granted, everyone within the film community, including myself, may overuse this term, but this really is a gritty, grounded film. As you can see someone like this actually happening. And you cannot just lose heart and just fear so much when you see this happen. And by the end, I was very much speechless by the end of the film. I was blown the hell away by this film. And for me, I was just blown out. This is the guy who run this old school and the Hangover trilogy. This is a really weird filmmaking departure from those other films. And yet, Todd Phillips has directed his own little villain comic book movie masterpiece. And I love it for it. If you're going to ask me if this is my favorite film of the year, I would certainly say it's in the top 5. I just don't know where. You went, fuck it. I'm just saying it is. It is. It is my favorite film of the year. For me, it's right up there with Avengers Endgame and Shadow as one of my favorites. It's so captivating, so rich, so powerful, and it never, ever, ever holds back. It just lets Joaquin Phoenix really feel real in this role, and he is chilling as fuck. And nothing more to say about you, but the Joker is nothing short of a masterpiece in my eyes. And granted, I understand why it's not for everyone, and I do think at times it does feel a little long, but that's how I said it. I feel it's a little long at times. It's subjective, and that's what all film is by the end of it. And in the end, that's my opinion, everyone. I really do hope you enjoyed my review. I'm going to give Joker a 95%. It really is a fucking excellent movie. Believe the hype. It does not deserve its negative reviews in my mind. Granted, I don't want everyone to think about this movie on the same degree as me, because I love hearing the opposite contrary opinions. But it's like, from the negative opinions I've heard of it, I'm like, yeah, that's kind of stupid. Don't you think? In the end, just Joker, leave me the hell away. Yeah. I loved it. Till then, cheers. And remember, maybe my death will have more meaning in life. Or, as a quote would go on, said by him. Till then, there's so much more I want to say, and it's just so chilling of a film. And in the end, Joker is an excellent, excellent fucking film. Till then, cheers. Bring in the clowns.